Someone missed out on 3.5 minutes of average sex.
Whoa, 3.5? That's big.
That was a
But
time, not my inches.
do we actually on pure spite say hello, welcome to the Tier Above podcast? Nothing's on tap. That's cringe. Only Z says that. Yucky, yucky.
Yeah, you just introed it. You did it. So yeah, welcome everyone. Yeah, we got no Z today. First person to miss an episode of the Tier Above podcast.
Yeah, but it wasn't maybe gonna be me, and then you fucked it, so it's him now, and he can't have a go at me now.
That's actually so funny. He was like, "Oh, finally, Kelly's gonna miss one," and then he's the first one to miss one.
But yeah, Z is away, fucking camp or lunching or what the fuck is he doing? Is he at a picnic?
Well, he's going to a picnic, I believe, and then doing laundry. That's why he can't be doing laundry.
Yeah. And then one time I was like, oh, I was late for Yu-Gi-Oh for half an hour because I was talking to someone who was crying, and he was like, bitch, just tell him to shut up and go play Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm like, brother, oh my guy. But yeah, no Z, funny, so we're allowed to talk about 1939 to 1945.
Exactly. This is the Hitler episode. We made it. No, but we do actually have Curly back. We've no longer got the AI version. The AI notices he was actually the one controlling AI Curly, so
yeah, I killed him. AI Curly killed Z, and I've got my body back. That's how that works.
Yes, yeah. Actually, in something we're recording, we found the lore of where AI Curly came from.
Oh, I don't even. Yeah, I know this.
Recorded yesterday. No, you weren't there.
Oh no. Well, I was there, but you just don't
know. Whoa! Always listening, always watching.
Was close. I seen you recording in the Discord and took all of my willpower not to just jump in and scream. But
just jump on the soundboard.
Yeah, jump on the soundboard. Z hates the soundboard so much. I love how much he hates it.
Yeah, it's very funny. But we have actually got like a themed episode. You know, when Z's away, we go out and do a theme. We both love Pokemon. We did a Pokemon episode, and then Z got very salty because Z also loves Pokemon. So this time we're gonna do our like current big sort of hype thing that we're super excited about. We're gonna be talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, baby.
I love it so much. Also, I can guarantee if Z plays it, Z's gonna be mad again.
Yep.
They missed the Baldur's Gate episode.
Yeah.
But before we get too far in this, we do have some non-Baldur's Gate things to talk about. So let's get those out of the way before we horribly sandwich them in the middle of a Baldur's Gate podcast.
Yeah,
because we're actually hot on the presses right now. We're actually doing something like before it's like a week old news.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about AI again because I realized we've talked about that for like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. This is the closest thing to AI.
I'll let you go with it. Yeah, you've been hot on the topic, so.
So I was aware of this literally the second it happened because I was on Twitter the second it happened, and even my mum was aware of this news. This is how big news it is. The news was that internet phenomenon Lil Tay had died, allegedly.
Yeah, I actually have to say allegedly. Yeah, it was so funny because just before we went, we started recording this, Curly was like, "Oh, I want to talk about the Lil Tay situation," and I was like, "Really? You want to talk about a kid dying? That's kind of like
morbid,
like cringe." Yeah. But yeah,
what happened?
All is not as it seems.
Yeah, exactly. What apparently has happened from 21 minutes ago that I read on Twitter, someone hacked her Instagram and posted a message being like, "Yo, me and my brother are dead. Rip Bozo," except didn't really say it like that, but in as many words. Her and her brother had died in some sort of accident. People went full super sleuth, was looking up the area she lived in, and was like, I see no records of an accident or the death of insert Lil Tay's real name here, or insert brother's name here. This doesn't feel right. And then I think what happened next, well, what actually happened next in terms of what I knew was my mum was like, "Hey, yo, did you hear about the little girl that died? What was her name? Lil Tay or something?" I was like, "Oh, do you know about that?" And the fact that our local news station fucking picked it up and ran it on the news, as it must have been a slow news day. They were like, "Yo, Lil Tay dead." So my mum came to me today and was like, "Lil T dead, or Lil Tay dead, not Lil T. He's completely different. He's
Yeah,
alive.
no, Lil T's fine.
Lil T's fine, thank the world. But Lil Tay is allegedly dead, and I was like, no one, big update here, big update, not dead. What's apparently happened is someone hacked her Instagram account, posted this thing being like, yo, rip, I'm dead. Also on her YouTube channel, like nobody can have a description of like what you do. It just said help me full stop.
Jesus Christ.
Which is mad. So then
Yeah.
people came to the speculation because the brother made a new Twitter account or a new Instagram or something and was like, we're in a legal battle. I'm not dead. She's not dead. We're in a legal battle with our parents to get access to your stuff because technically when Lil Tay was like popping, she was a child, so didn't own any of
Yeah.
the things that she did because it would have been
Yeah, it
run
was
by her parents.
all organized by her parents.
Yeah. Another fun fact that I find interesting about Lil Tay is I'm sure you're familiar, Lanigal, with iCarly,
Yes, yes.
Drake and Josh.
Yep, Drake and Josh. Yep.
Yeah, do you know Miranda Cosgrove?
Yeah, from School of Rock.
Yeah, from School of Rock. Yeah, she used to be Lil Tay's manager.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I believe you. I think you said that. It was. I actually did. That was wild to find out.
This was when she was popping. Because, like, I'll be honest, whenever Lil Tay was a thing, that was around the time where I was just watching commentary YouTubers like constantly on YouTube, and all they did was talk about Lil Tay.
That was in your watching Leafy arc.
It wasn't Leafy. Actually, I'm Leafy, except he posted a picture of his face recently. So that's actually why I've been away, because I was getting my face reconstructed to not look like Leafy anymore.
That's so funny.
But yeah, no. Then what made this story even more crazy and even more ridiculous is there is a Lil Tay cryptocurrency that is launched as of today, being the 10th of August or whatever it is, dating this podcast. And that's just mad. So people are like, did she fake her death as a publicity stunt, or did the Instagram
crypto?
To sell the crypto?
It's so cringe, isn't it? That's like, that does seem to be like, the most logical thing. Like unveiling a crypto, like as soon as like you've done like a fake death thing, because like no one was talking about Lil Tay.
No, not at all.
Lil Tay like fell off hard, like the whole sort of craze and like funny video of her being like, oh, I got more Rex and whatever, and then also like even the fallout of that, then it was like, well, actually it's just a mum who like shows around houses.
Her mum was a real estate agent and would just basically break into the houses that she was like trying to sell and record them. That's so stupid. I love it though.
Yeah, but I think actually finding out that it wasn't true was just kind of funny though, because it like made everything in retrospective just like, oh, it's just some people being silly. Like, oh well. It's not actually like a kid who has like horrible parents that have taught her that this is the way that you act.
Well,
to be fair, she does have some pretty bad parents because they're they controlled all the money and everything.
Do you think that was her idea I think she would have been like 8, 9, 10, 11-ish at that point? Do you think that was her idea? You know what I mean?
But to be fair, like I could imagine a world where it's not like, as bad. Like you just like you're like playing around with your kid, you got the camera on, but you just like
you're like, here's a rack.
Hold this money and then like be silly. Like it's just like just having some fun. Like
just tell everyone that you're better than them, okay?
But I think it did like get found out that there was like it was a bit like bad, and like the parents were pushing it a lot more, and like
that doesn't surprise me.
But I mean that'll be as soon as money got involved, because Lil Tay started getting money from popularity and stuff. So so then they will have been like, wow, this gets us money, kid, keep doing it, and then prod.
Yeah. If I ever die, please release Curly Nickel, the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that's happening. I'm releasing the Curly Nickels.
Only release 4 of them though.
Yeah, and we're gonna get Drake Bell to be.
No, not Drake Bell. No, not Drake Bell. At least give me Josh Beck. I'll take Josh Beck. Like, Drake Bell would jump at that fucking opportunity. I'm sure he's got nothing going on right now.
He's got nothing, has he?
He might be in jail.
It should be in jail. That's what I'll say. No, we'll get
Dan Schneider.
Which one's the? Yeah, we'll go straight to the footman himself, Dan Schneider.
Yeah, he'll love that too.
Yeah, we'll do Curly Beans.
Oh, that's hype actually.
Curly dogs.
No, I
It's just
want
gonna be
curly
like
beans, and it's a Captain Beanie. Whenever me and Captain Beanie are gonna dance the same day, obviously, and because we're soul linked.
slow link. That's so funny.
And whenever he dies and I die at the same time, I want a curly bean release. Just one big curly bean, and everyone has to bid for it.
If you die in the bean, you die in real life. Are you in the bean? Is it like your coffin?
Yeah,
It's
it's
your
like
tomb. You're
you know,
both
like
entombed in the bean.
yeah. No, it's like our ashes are in there, so you can like shake it and
Oh,
hear
the
us.
ashes. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a rain stick.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's so funny.
in terms of the whole Little Tay thing, it's mad and ongoing. So I'm excited to. I say excited. Obviously, she's not dead. If there's a chance she is dead, then ooh. But
Yeah, well, we're actually in like a good. Yeah, could you imagine if she wasn't hacked, she died, but then some people hacked the account to say it was a fake death,
yeah,
and then made
yeah.
a crypto coin. Oh my god, that would be the worst plot twist. She has to be alive and like shilling a crypto because the alternative is horrible.
Yeah, it's all kind of, to be fair, it's all horrible. It's like the lesser of two evils is one
Yeah,
of them, you know what I mean?
the lesser of two evils is that she faked her own death to sell a crypto coin.
Which is a crazy statement to say in
Yeah, that's
itself.
crazy. That's crazy. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. No. Wait, yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no if she was
Yeah,
dead. I was like, no, wait, she'd be dead in the other scenario.
no, yeah, the best case scenario is not that a child has died. I'm afraid.
Well, I don't know. Trolley problem.
I don't know what you're talking about. We've never done the trolley problem on this channel. It's not as if we've got two
Never.
videos coming out without that eventually. When I can bother to edit 3 hours of content.
It's gonna take you 6 hours to do.
Yeah.
Easy. You can cut 90% of mine out because of me going, fuck, this is so stupid. When
I
would
might
this
actually
happen?
get some behind the scenes here, everyone. I might actually make it into a video. I'll see how that works
Yeah,
out.
I said that to Z. I think we should cut. Hey, even more behind the scenes. I was saying that we should cut it into one video and only do like the first half, and then do like the side by side of like, or like a point where we both end. Like, there's a point where I end, there's a point where you end.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, we
that's
can
what
do
I
like the
think.
side by side of stuff that we agree with, and then like we can do like because your game ends before mine does. We can like include that and then like have me carry on a bit on my own, and then just do the best bits from that bit, so it doesn't carry on for ages, just like being me.
Yeah, but moral
Um,
of the story is don't buy any Little Tay cryptocurrency.
yeah.
And pray that she is
Don't play the
alive
trolley
and her
problem.
brother.
No, but actually do.
Mm.
I sort of shout out in the video, but I think the trolley problem's a very fun experience.
I
And actually, for just a pre-warning for anyone who likes our content, if you want to play a trolley problem, play it now before you watch our video, because the video will just like spoil the game.
yeah.
And I recommend going and playing it now after watching this, and then watching our video when it comes out.
And
In
leave
fact,
a comment.
I might do a little
of
intro at the start of the
leave
video saying that.
leave a comment of how many kids you killed. That's what I want to
Actually,
know.
true. I want to know the number of kids killed.
Because it might be higher than you think. Mine says one Lil Tay at the bottom.
Oh no!
One of the trolley questions is you have to hack a 12-year-old's Instagram account and fake their death, but you will also make millions in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, there are some difficult choices in that game. But
Yeah, there's
I'll
some
tell you what,
also.
the game has difficult choices. Baldur's Gate 3.
Or he's
So
gonna
people
play
who
it.
don't
And
know,
get
Baldur's Gate 3 is basically Dungeons and Dragons as a video game. Like, not even like sometimes I'll say, oh, it's basically like D&D as a game. It's literally D&D as a game.
Yeah, like short rest, long rest, spell slots, everything, classes. It's literally just D&D imported into a fucking game, and you can literally. The thing about it is I've played Divinity Original Sin 2, which is made by the same studio, right? I'm not smoking here. And
No, yes, you're right.
both of the, like, I love the Divinity games, and whenever I was like, oh, these guys are making this and it's D&D, it's gonna just be Divinity but with more restrictions, is what I was worried about, because the whole thing with Divinity is really stupid. I know we're going to talk about Baldur's Gate, but I'm going to talk about Divinity for a second. Was long rest, short rest wasn't really a thing. What you could do is just carry a fucking back, or was it a bedroll? You just carried a bedroll and just spam
right.
clicked it to full health.
That's so funny.
So literally the first place, like people wouldn't pay, people were like, oh, it's so hard. I always have low health and I need to cast. Or you could just wait around and cast spells because you cast as many spells as you wanted. But just get to the point where I'd played the game so much, I was like, okay, pick up a bedroll. Everyone gets a bedroll. Spam that after every combat. Let's go. But with this, it's
That's
a
great.
little bit more challenging in the fact that you genuinely have to pay attention to
Yeah.
how much health you have and how many short rests you have, and
It's
taking long rests can have
spells are the big
consequences.
thing because like you don't like apart from Warlock, you don't get your spells back on a short rest. So like that's like the big one to keep track of. Should we jump in the tier list, or do we want to talk about other things first?
Let's do the tier list first.
Because
You know
one
what?
of the
We're gonna
difficult
mix it up.
choices is which
person you're gonna fuck?
which companions you're gonna have. No, which bear you're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
Is which person you're gonna have on your team.
So I guess semi spoilers, full stop. But like the companion list isn't exactly a massive spoiler because it's pretty like there was videos made for a lot of them, like in the press releases and stuff. There's some that are I don't even know what they're like yet because I haven't even met them.
Yeah, to be honest, most of the people in the game that are companions were also companions in like have been companions for a year now. It's like this is a spoiler for a year-old like
if you're waiting for the full release, to be fair.
Yeah.
Some people do that.
Yeah, some people were waiting for the full release, but also, you know, if you're waiting for the full release, you should have met all these characters by now.
And
the only people who the majority of these characters are a spoiler for are people who haven't yet played the game but want to play the game. And those people don't exist in my eyes. So.
Yeah, and we're not even going to go into much about the story of them in particular, like anything that's like too in depth or anything. Because you know what, they all actually have.
You know, like how there's
you
know how there's the Githyanki woman there who becomes a dragon and.
Wait,
I'm just making it up. I have no idea what the Githyanki woman does at all. So
I also have no idea because she's fucking dead on my playthrough. Which is why she's at the bottom of my tier list in terms of the people that I am affectionate towards.
Let me actually pull that tier list up. Don't come near me unless talk to.
Bitch, you forgot the bitch at the end?
I don't like swearing.
Okay. Well, at the bottom, I've got. It says a lot. I don't even remember.
What's wrong? Why have you got Will in there?
Will, you know.
What's wrong with Will?
Will.
Oh, it's because Will wanted to kill your one and only, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's fine. That's a minor spoiler, but some of them are gonna have to come out, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that any of your companions, there's normally a choice between one or two of them at some point, or like you can sometimes appease them both somehow. It's possible. Like for example, like Will is in my party technically in my camp, but also is Karlach as well. Even though they technically their stories are the opposite.
Yeah, they get diffused super easy.
They really do. I was like, hey, don't be cringe. And he went, hey, shit, you're right.
I've seen, because also like you, I don't have the Gith woman anymore, but her and Shadowheart like never get along.
Good.
They like literally like every time you like, do you know like every time you go to like do a long rest, there's like a little cutscene as you go away. Like pretty much every night it goes to do a secondary cutscene where like one of them is trying to stab the other. Like it's just like girls get along.
It happens very early as well. It's not even that much of a spoil. Like I just got enough to
literally the first time you meet them on like both together on the Nautiloid, they're just like a human, a Gith. It's like chill out.
The Gith was like literally like, don't waste your time, get to the hole, and like, don't even bother saving this bitch. And I'm like, what?
And you're like, it's like, no, I'm gonna save this woman. And then as soon as she gets out, she's like, there's a Gith here, gross. No, we just saved you. Stop being so rude.
Yeah, well, I'll say Will is on there because he threatened Karlach. I'm sure he's probably actually not a horrible character. He it seems to have an interesting-ish story from what I've gathered with the whole, like, because he's a warlock, right? So he has his patron, and they're a character from they're also, you know what, they would be higher on the list than Will. The Githyanki woman, who genuinely I don't know how to pronounce her name or even like remember it because I used her.
She wasn't in the game long enough for me to remember her name.
Yeah, she was in the tutorial. One long rest later, she was dead.
It begins with an L and has like a break in it with like a comma or something. It's like, get out of here.
Just like her in my playthrough, absolute L. Um, used her at the start. Then they had a little scuffle with Shadowheart. Shadowheart, I woke up from a long rest. Shadowheart was literally like knife to your throat, and I was like, "Go back to sleep."
What? And then she just what? And Shadowheart killed her.
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck. I didn't know that's how she died in your playthrough.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. I woke up. Shadowheart had her like at fucking like knife point because they had an argument before. Then had her at knife point.
Yeah.
My character wakes up, stands up, and then I say, "Do nothing. Go back to bed." And they go back to bed. Wake up and just dead on the ground. I'm like, oh well.
That's funny.
Um.
Yeah. So she died in my playthrough. Well, actually, she didn't die. So I
Okay.
got to a point where you can like rescue her from some tiefling, or like by killing the tiefling, or you can kill her. I chose to kill the tiefling. I actually didn't kill them though. I knocked them out because I was like, well, these guys don't deserve to die either, but I don't
Yeah.
want them to kill this innocent Gith woman. But then I went to long rest because that fight was like, even though it was like an easy fight, it was very early on in the game. Like I didn't even have a full party.
Yeah.
So like it used quite a lot of stuff. So I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna go rest. So then went to go rest, came back, and then she just disappeared. She was just gone.
Love that.
And I was like, well, she's not even dead, and I don't get to add her to my like camp then. Fair enough.
Sure, she'll pop up again at some point. It's kind of how
Yeah.
the game's probably designed that way. If
It's
you never
possible,
ran
I'm
into
sure.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Uh,
well, actually, a good point is, I was talking to Curly the other day about the fact that I think I also lost Will because I didn't interact with him properly. But when I brought, what's her name? The demon.
Karlak.
Karlak. Yeah. Once I got Karlak, then he like turned up again. So
That happened.
there's
That
a
happened to
there's
me.
a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought because I was just like randomly, and he shows up at my party. Like basically, he just shows up, and I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" I didn't remember interacting with him because it's one of the first
Yeah.
things you do in the game when you get to like the first like town, I guess, for lack of a better word. And
Yeah.
he's just there, and I'm like, "Oh, he's just a guy, or whatever." I didn't realize that he was like, one of the guys.
Yeah. So it was some dude in the town. I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
he's not like massively like out there.
He doesn't stand out the way some of the other characters do. Like fucking the rogue guy who I was gonna say Aslan. That's not his name, but I'm gonna call him Aslan.
Yeah. Perfect. It's Astarion.
Astarion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like his character. I just hate having him around. I don't know how to explain him.
I don't like I like him as a character, but my playthrough is pretty like chaotic good.
Same.
And Astarion is like every time I do something that helps people out, he's like, Astarion did not like this. And I'm like, well, I don't think Astarion's really liking being part of the team, and there's people who do like the things I'm doing, so I'm gonna use them.
Yeah, I think I instantly removed him from my party because this happens on like the second long rest as well. He just tries to fucking nom on you because he's, guess what, spoilies, the palest fucker in the world, looks like a vampire, is a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah. It also I've seen so many people who have like just instantly stabbed him. Like I didn't, but that would have been. I kind of wish I did now because it seems really funny to just be like "fuck you" and stab him.
At the time, he was in my party, and I didn't have enough other people, so I was like, "I need you to stay." Yeah. But then I got Karlak and was like, "Sorry, brother, you're right."
Literally the exact same thing happened with me. I was like, Karlak's cooler, and she's gonna be the one who deals a bunch of damage now. Bye.
Moving up to the meh tier, we've got two people I don't know, but I'm aware that you get them. One of them is Minsk, right?
And the other one is let me get the name.
It's a drow lady of some sort.
Jaheira. This is Minthara is the drow lady. So the drow lady is like a villain, but you can choose to. So I think it's either you will get Halsin
killed her
or Minthara. Yeah.
I remember now. I killed her. I didn't even talk to her. I was already hostile. I walked in the room, I was already hostile, so I was like,
yeah, I almost became friends with her, and then when she was like, "Yo, kill everyone," I was like, "I'm gonna kill all of you guys." Actually,
but yeah, so I didn't even know she was an option until me and Lanika looked it up literally yesterday because we had about a 4-hour. It felt like a 4-hour conversation about this game.
I'm currently wearing her armor because I stole it from a corpse, and then it was like, "Oh, she could be an ally. Cool."
Whoa!
I'm ready. Oh, I'm actually so down for like a bad guy party, which is like Astarion, uh Lae'zel is the Gith,
Hmm.
and then Minthara as well, and
Yeah.
then I don't know, maybe Shadowheart. I feel like she could like, go either way.
Shadowheart's literally the sort of like chaotic neutral if such a thing well in a way
Yeah,
exists, but like
I feel like I feel like she could be like tempted either way by you. Like I feel like that's part of her design because like I've been talking to her a bunch, and then now she's like, maybe I don't want to be like a disciple of such an evil god.
Yeah,
But
when I talk
whereas
to
if you like
her,
do like an evil path, she's probably like, I really like being part of this evil god's plan.
yeah, pretty much. I think there's obviously like there's definitely like like an ideal comp if you want like to be a certain way, because there's certain characters that are very mixed. Like Carlack's quite mixed. She likes when you do nice things, and she loves it when you just want to kill stuff. So she's normally pretty
Yeah,
happy all the time.
yeah. Karlak is like as long as you're like killing things and helping people, she's happy.
Yeah, and
Um,
Shadowheart's nearly the same as well.
Will is kind of the same, I think. Like, um, he's more just about saving people, but likes fighting as well.
Yeah,
Shadowheart is a bit tricky to narrow down because she doesn't like you doing things that like put her in danger. I think is the thing.
yeah.
Like
One of
when
the
because recently I was like fighting a hag, and then as soon as I like entered the hag's area, it was like Shadowheart disapproves that you're talking to this hag, or like want to go and find this.
yeah, I
Because
think
like
she
she has
cares.
like a thing of self-preservation and also saving like the device she has. I think.
Oh, the artifact.
I think that's part of her thing.
That's not even a spoiler because it's literally the first fucking thing you basically see the minute you talk to her. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, what's that
I also
thing?
I also want to do an evil run so I can yoink
Yoink the artifact and
yoink the
yeah,
artifact. Yeah.
I do now because I'm at a point where well, there was a point where I was at where it was like, hey, can I we want that? Can we have it? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And I would like to see what would happen if I went, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, we don't need it. Fuck that. Yeah, you have it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to it. There's a lot of like balance. It's basically a game of balancing what you want. I feel like there's probably a way if you optimally play the game to get everything you exactly want all the time, but there's always just going to be something that you're like, oh, well, that's shit. Like, I basically lost out in a companion I didn't even know I could get at the end of the world, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I think that's cool that like next time you play through, there's like a chance you could get like different companions and stuff.
Yeah, because even the first, like, me and Lana will talk, the first act, well, we'll talk about it later because we'll talk about the whole structure of it, but like, the first act, we did completely different. We did similar, but different at the same time.
Yeah, like we achieved the same goal, but we did it in two very different ways. And also, we know also because Minthara's there, you can do something very different.
Yeah, and there's there's a whole load of shit. Jathara, who's not Jathara, just whatever her name is, the druid, the other druid.
Jahaira. I don't know how you
I know
pronounce
who
it,
she is. You don't know who she is.
Well, I know who she is because she's like a character from like
other games,
D&D lore.
Yeah, she's like a big hero, as every fucking person reminds me every time I talk to any fucker nearby. Yeah. They're like, oh my god, the big hero lady's here. I'm like, let's go, guys. Thanks. She's all right. The first time you run into her, the first time you run into her, she tries to fucking murder you. The second time, she tries to drug you. So, she's all right.
she's on a good path there.
Yeah. Gale, which I only remember his name because my actual character is called Gale as well.
That's so funny that you picked Gale as your name.
Because I was just like, I picked like a woman elf or wood elf or whatever because I was like, druid.
All right, yeah.
Wood. And I was like, just give me a random. Like, I just pressed like suggest random name like 3 or 4 times to see if I could get one.
It gave
like,
Gale.
It gave me Gale, and I was like,
that's so funny.
And I was like, yeah, she looks like a Gale. Oh yeah, let's run it.
That's actually so funny.
Yeah, and for so long, I was like sending items to Gale, not realizing that he was Gale.
He's just like over encumbered, like, please stop, I'm just a wizard.
I think he's pretty cool. I don't think I know enough about his character. I know the basics of his character, but I haven't seen anything like fully take place. Like a lot of people, you find out a lot of like their stuff quite early on. I think his stuff is going to be closer to the end, like if you get to Baldur's Gate or like if you go towards there.
I've had like a bit of his stuff. Like I understand a bit of what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like
All I know is
also
he's an absolute
I
giga
actually
chad. That's all
yeah,
I know.
I really like Gale. Like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he is an absolute giga chad. Like massive AOs to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like the most chill person I think.
Yeah.
Like that you can get. Like everyone else has got like a demon running around him or something like that, whereas he's like
He kind of does.
he has got a problem, but like he's just like yeah, let's just get rid of the parasite in our brain, please.
Yeah, he's literally just like, let's just get rid of the parasite. I don't give a fuck about anything else. This is all staying in the podcast. So what do you guys think about butterbeans? Anyone like butterbeans? Manny goes replying to me, but I think he can hear me and I can see his mouth moving and he's like... So yeah, I'm actually quite a big fan of butterbeans. It's crazy that they're called butterbeans because they don't really taste like butter. You know what I mean? But they're beans. Is it because they like consume butter? Do they eat butter? Like how does it work? Lanigle's even left the call now, so he doesn't know that I'm just talking about butterbeans still.
Anyway, so yeah, I think Gale's really cool because like he's like all about like getting the tadpole out of your head.
Yeah, he's literally just like, you know what, tadpole out, do whatever you want. I'm game. That's literally how he lives his life by the sounds.
Yeah, he's literally like, easy come easy. I mean, because of the thing that he's got going on, like he's pretty much like, well, let's just not die.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of like he's definitely the most self-preservation. Like we talked about Shadowheart being a bit self-preservation like mindset, but he is like that is all he cares about because to be fair, he needs to have that mindset.
Hey, you say that, but one of the things is early on you have to like give him like magical items to consume. That's a part of his thing.
Yeah.
Like if you don't give them to him, he sort of goes, "Oh yeah, I understand," because I did that once.
What you said? Oh right, I've never done that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm scared because he has a condition that appears when he needs it.
Yeah. But I just give it to him after. Like I was like, "What happens if I don't?" And he goes, "Yeah, this won't be good for us, but you know, I'll soldier on."
Yeah, but so even then he's like chill. I just like I don't get what you could do to upset Gale.
I think there's a few things you can do, but they're like. You'd have to really go out of your way.
I feel like if you repeatedly don't give him a magic item, he'll be very upset. But,
yeah.
And then we've got Halsin, the druid. In Mare. Is he Mare just because you are a druid?
Yes, because I literally spoke to him like 4 times just to go, hey, what do you think about these tadpoles?
I like the other Halsin's just like, hey, I want me to join your team, and you're just like, nope, druid already fulfilled.
Yeah, sorry, brother.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm like with Will because I'm playing a warlock, and Will's just like, I would love to join your party, and I'm like, got a one warlock policy.
I will say one of the cringiest and things I actually dislike about the companion options is you're missing some classes.
Yeah, you are missing a few classes with the ones that have lore, because there is actually a thing in the game where you can hire a character, which is like someone who has like no backstory or anything, but can be any of the classes.
Andy. But it annoys me because I really wanted a bard. Like I wanted some like fucking like tree loving bard hippie woman or something. You know what I mean? I was like, get her in. Let's go. And then there just wasn't like there was an option where I seen someone play music and was like, this is it. This is the time. And they went up and they were like, thanks for listening to my song. And I was like, no. Join me.
In hindsight, knowing that like so many of the classes that we picked are like available companions, it would make sense to be like a bard or a monk or
I think there's only one other. It's
sorcerer.
I think there are only 3 that aren't available.
Yeah.
What's cringe is that there's not even just one druid. There's 2.
Yeah, there's 2 druids because the woman is a druid, the one that's from D&D lore.
Yeah, so it's like I get why Halston's like it just annoyed me. I was like, just make. Oh, you also don't get. Do you get ranger or you do get ranger? You do.
Yeah, you get ranger. Minsk is a ranger, and then evil drow woman is a paladin, so she's your paladin option. But yeah. There is also one other character who has like got some lore but isn't a companion, which we could talk about. Which is the Dark Urge.
Oh
Because when you
yes.
when you do character selection, you can be Gale or be Shadowheart or be Lizelle, but there is also the option to be a character called the Dark Urge, where you play as a Dragonborn, who has like an evil like something inside
Just
of
an
him. Which,
asshole.
yeah, and you like it really like rewards you for doing like the evil options. So I'm definitely gonna do a run through as this guy.
Yeah, then you just pick up all the evil fuckers and just
Yeah,
rampage.
yeah. I'm super hyped to play as that guy. But yeah, he's not like a companion that's in the game. So it's like
Mm.
an alternate universe when you pick him of like, oh, some real shit's going down in this alternate timeline.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. So, like, the first person you run into is like a Yankee woman at the very start of the game, if I'm not mistaken, and
Hmm.
it's really hard to feel attached to her, opposed to Shadowheart, who's next on my list. Whereas
Yeah.
Shadowheart's instantly is like, "Oh my god, thank
Well,
you, let's
I
sort
think
this
there's
out."
like I think there's like a big difference there because literally the first interaction with the Gith woman is that she pulls a sword on you, is reluctant to trust you. Or as soon as you meet someone else, she's reluctant to trust them.
It makes sense for her
um,
character. Don't get me wrong.
it does, but then it's just like as a person who's like trying to be like a good person, you're just like you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, whereas like Shadowheart, the first time you meet her, she's in trouble, and then she's thankful that you saved her. So you're
Yeah.
like, cool, we're friends.
Even in the situation you were talking about with when she gets captured by the tieflings, when you fucking rescue her, she's like, "Puh, yeah, and I'm like, shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
it's
You
like she's not like,
would
thanks for helping me out there. I
Yeah.
was in trouble. Like, it's like
It's,
no,
it's like, yeah, okay, I guess we can like party or whatever because like you need my
yeah,
strength because I'm like really strong. Like, shut
yeah.
up.
Apparently that's like what she's like the entire time. It's just like
Yeah.
also apparently if you I think the way that you like get the romance option with her is by having a romance option with someone else.
Oh, she's just a
And
jealous.
then, well, yeah, then she comes in and she's like, huh, guess you chose poorly. You could have had my amazing like sex skills.
Me to every woman ever.
Yeah, yeah, that's me when all of my crushes report that they have girlfriends on
Yeah.
Facebook, boyfriends on Facebook.
Me under every
Like,
OnlyFans creators content on
yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, me when I find out my favorite OnlyFans content creator has a boyfriend. Well,
You have
guess
chosen poorly.
someone missed out on 3.5 minutes of average sex.
Whoa, 3.5? That's big.
That was a
But
time, not my inches.
both massive. Yeah, Shadowheart is much more likable, but also just like also very
Okay.
closed off. They're both I guess similar characters in a way. That's probably why
Yeah,
you made them both.
I do wonder if you can, because obviously she's fucking dead and disappeared in our runs. I wonder if you can like get her to open up because Shadowheart can like
Hmm.
she's the one I've been romancing, and then you find out like loads more about her, and I really like that about the character. Like she like went as like a closed off character to being like, yo, we're like super chill.
Yeah, and then Karlach the goat. Karlach's actually just the goat. It just has like this fucking crazy story. Has this like it's literally just like I'm a badass and here's all the like I don't even have a real fucking body or heart or anything. I'm just a fucking mad thing, and all I want
I
to do
also
is
realized
smash
like
stuff.
the main companions like that you get in like Act One, apart from Lizelle, they all have something weird about them. Like one's a vampire, one's got this weird artifact. Gale's got what Gale's got. Will's got like a patron, which it's like a normal thing for a warlock, but like the fact that it actually like shows up, which doesn't happen for your warlock character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
She's probably just some unknown fucker.
Then Karlach also has something weird going on with her. It's like
Yeah, Karlach I used to just be like one of the best ass demon slayers, and also I am kind of like a
yeah,
demon, and like also I don't have
yeah,
a
but then
heart.
yeah, she's like, I don't have a heart. I've got an infernal engine. Yo, want to help out with getting that fixed? And it's like, yo, why the fuck has every single person in my party got some fucking problem like this?
All I say is
Actually, I'd be tempted to pick Lizelle and like make a party of all the other people, like the Drow woman and Minsk and whatever.
they're probably
Just
the
so
normal.
I don't have to deal with all their problems. Like, jeez.
To be fair, I'm fairly sure Lizelle's problem is that she was like ousted from like Githyanki like society. Like I think that's her thing, but that doesn't really matter because
We're not in Githyanki society.
yeah, because we're just in like some fucking random grove.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah, she's worried because she's got the mind flayer parasite. Then the Gif are going to be like, fucking rip,
you're
and just
definitely never
destroy her.
ever
Yeah,
coming back. Yeah.
yeah.
But Carlac just actually just the goat. I love her. Like, see all the fucking Riz options as well, because like for a certain period of time you can't touch her because she's like so on fire, and you
All
basically
right.
just like fucking e-sex. You're just like, yeah,
That's so funny.
if I could, I would trace my fingers around your body or whatever. And she's like, fuck yeah, that's hot.
That's funny as fuck. You just left fucking sexting IRL.
Yeah, she just stands there like, what would you do to me? I'm like, I would maybe kiss you, miss. She's like, yeah, you fucking would.
I would maybe kiss, and then you just like throw a 5 gold at her.
Is that what we do?
she's the only fans.
Yeah, but yeah, that's mine.
So no, she's really cool. She's if anyone's seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie, she's a lot like the barbarian woman in that one.
Yeah, she's the badass. This is your tier list.
She's cool. Yeah, so mine is less sexual, but but still of the same sort of thing. It's about like how I like them. Who Are You is, even though I do know her, I've not met her in the game, so that's why she's there.
Yeah, fair.
And then You Can Live is because, well, I was surprised to find out that that you can actually get Minthara as a companion, because I thought she was just going to be a villain. And then the gifts there because yeah, she didn't make it. Then I've got Stay in Camp. Yeah, Kalak kicked out Asterion. And also Will is the same reason with Halcyon for you, because I'm a warlock.
Yeah,
Will has to stay at camp. Then party level, I've not unlocked Halcyon as a companion yet, but it's going to be a hard choice when I do.
Yeah, Druids are kind of really good.
Gale's looking in trouble, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Gale is either extremely useful or extremely useless.
Yeah.
There's no in the middle.
Yeah. And Karlach's fantastic. I'm currently running a build where she's now getting like Polearm, Master, and Sentinel with a magical like glaive. So she's like becoming incredibly strong, and like nothing can like even touch her, and
yeah,
it's like going super well. And then my queen, Shadowheart, she's the only character I'm romancing in this run. I might do like a sleazier run later down the line, but because of her like her romancing options are like our romancing options, it kind of didn't feel right. and then Minsk, the only person who I'll consider doing different romance options for.
So I don't know anything about Minsk, but you said he's like a D&D like lore
yeah,
relevant.
he's a D&D lore like relevant guy. He's cool, and he has a pet hamster. Well, pet pygmy giant space hamster.
Yep, cool.
Called Boo. They're not normally known as Minsk and Boo. They're like often like duoed.
Type. I say we end the tier list here. Stop talking about the companions and actually talk about the game, because really we haven't been. We've basically been going, this is really cool. I love it. Yum yum yum. So in terms of like what you like, the character creator, like at the very starting experience, the character creator is just so fucking good.
It's fantastic. You can mix so many different things with it, and like, if it's the sort of thing that you like the all of the options are like cosmetic to the point where your gender, pronouns, and even like your body and type and everything, and all that can all be like modified, so you can have any sort of non-binary kind of level of thing going on there, which is hype.
Yeah, because I think my character might actually be male. I can't remember.
That's really funny. Well, because when all the character options are there, I mean, you might as well just like adds nothing to like the development time to just make it like way more inclusive.
Yeah, because I made mine really feminine looking, and I was like, maybe I want to be like a more manly guy. Changed to male, and assumed it would do what a lot of the games do, where they like swap the preset over like the male equivalent.
Yeah,
but it didn't do that. So I think my character is a man, but looks like funny. An extremely hot woman. Which, you know what? that's yeah, I like that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the character creator in general, like if you were even, I think it's also just a really good start point to understanding D&D character creation as well. Like yeah. If you don't, like, if you've never looked at anything before in your entire life and you're like, what does this do? It breaks it down for you so fucking simply. It's like, here are your spells, or here are your whatevers. Here's what you can do, and here's what you can do in this, and it's just great. And then it's like, oh, I want to be this. And it's like, well, what kind of thing do you want to be at this? This gives you this, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking great. It's just so good. That I will say the one thing that I know we're going back, but the whole thing about companions is there's a bit of a height discrepancy in a lot of them. I really wish there was a dwarf.
Yeah. So there are with the hireling ones that do like,
but they're
have,
cringe.
Like, yeah, they are cringe compared. But yeah, I played a halfling, and honestly, like, it became such a good decision to play a halfling. Also, have you ever had it where like being an elf has given you more dialogue options?
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. That's a thing as well. Like your race and your class can like add different dialogue and like options that are there. There's so many other things like speaking to the dead gives you options to do things in a different way. Speaking of animals gives you an option to do things in different ways.
Like
it's just fantastic that there's just so many things that they thought about where it's like, well, if your character has this, we want this to have an impact.
Yeah, there's like if you go out of your way to like go to rooms and read like fucking books and stuff, sometimes you'll be in a dialogue option. Someone will say something, and you don't even need to pass a check because it's like your character remembers reading about like Githyanki like traditions in a book, and you know that this means this because you know that you've read a book about fucking Gith language or whatever.
Yeah,
and it'll just be like, you know that they said this because you read it, and I'm like, thank you. Thanks. I didn't actually read it. I opened and closed the book really quick.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of options like that. I mainly know that from playing a lot of Divinity that they like doing that too. So I was just picking up and reading like every book that I could. And some of them, to be fair, there's some of them I genuinely stopped to read because there's like a lot of really sad, because obviously a lot of stuff in this is like, even from the get-go, it's all grim. It's all sad and it's all grim, and there's very few positives, if any. So like if you run to like, for example, it's like a small story in like the second act where you go to this house and there's like a child there just being like, hey, do you want to play hide and seek? And you're like, brother, what the fuck you doing here? It's like a destroyed house, and he's like, no, we're gonna play hide and seek. And I'm like, okay. And then like these like shades come out called like mom and dad, and then like a dog shade, and you're like, oh, that's sad. And then you can like read their diary that the kid wrote. I genuinely sat and read it, and it's like day 2, like mom and dad haven't come back or whatever. I assume they got left in the house by themselves or something, and then either got possessed or got like whatever, because they got like 2 different colored eyes and covered in like all this crap, and it's all like, oh, day like 400 and something, still haven't died yet, haven't eaten in like 60 days or whatever, and you're like,
that's there's something in right sad. Here. No, it's honestly, I should read the books that I've picked up and seen and stuff, but like my gamer brain is just like, read, no.
Yeah, some it depends where I am.
They went to some good effort to put those into the game. I really should like read them at some point. I'm gonna make a nerd character that'll read them at some point, I'm sure.
yeah. There's bound to be like, oh, I got the achievement for like reading like 150 books or some shit. I'm like, oh, nice.
Yeah, so actually, like, we're talking about like the amount of detail and stuff that Baldur's Gate's put in there. That's actually caused a little bit of controversy. I don't know if you know this.
No.
But some devs have actually spoken out. I'll read you one of the things that I saw. It was like a lot of people, I'm deeply excited about what the lovely folks at Larian have accomplished with Baldur's Gate 3, but I want to gently preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and using it to apply criticism or a raised standard to RPGs going forward. And like a bunch of devs and stuff have been saying like echoing the same point of being like, guys, don't be expecting.
Guys, they try too hard.
Yeah. It's like they're making players expect too much for their games. Oh yeah, there's one here. You can't separate a game from the process used to build it. So let's look at what Larian is doing to take development and final version of the game. Dev cycle stretching from 2017, so having a long enough time for the game to be made.
Wait, what? Wait, 1 sec. Sorry, they took time to make a game.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things we need to consider when we're thinking about this. It's like, yeah, I want all of the companies to spend time making games and making them good.
Wait, you're telling me they shouldn't pump out a new Pokemon game every year?
Yeah. Well, exactly. And it's like one of the things is that like Larian did do something that generally is considered a little bit like by people by having an early access. But when they
Yeah.
made the game early access, the game had already been like had so much put into it. Everyone was like, "Oh shit, this I would play this game that's in early access right now, and be happy with the result."
Yeah. I
Like,
think
because like you've gone past that point now a bit, but Act One was the early access was,
there's so much
and
content
and
there.
there was
Like,
enough content there where it was like, yeah, it wouldn't have been worth the full £50 that we spent for it at the time.
mm,
But knowing that there were going to be more acts to go into,
yeah,
like
crazy.
thinking like, oh, there's going to be this level of content in there again. But then also, in like without the hindsight of knowing that they did put that in there, you could say, well, what if Acts 2 and 3 are really shit and really weak on quality and content? And that could have been a thing. And that's probably what would have happened if any other studio had done it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Um,
they probably also did
yeah,
the early access because no, they're saying, oh, they took so long. Well, they did. They took so long, and yeah, I get that that costs money, right? Whoa, the world costs money, but that just eases their cash flow. Like that's the point. That's the
yeah,
reason
yeah,
they do it.
yeah. It
And
is the cash flow, and it showed how much interest there was in the game.
it's also a better thing than just saying, "Hey, give us a fuckload of money to maybe make a good game." They went, "Here's what we've done
Yeah.
so far.
But like
Pay
it's
for
in a
it.
time where we've got
Here you
so
go."
many so many season passes, subscription services,
Mm,
free to play games, where like we just needed this. We just needed a good game that
yeah,
was £50
and that's it.
and is gonna be £50. And even if they make DLC, which is
It's gonna be like
still
£8.99 or
still
£12 or
still
something.
still slightly predatory, but with the amount of quality they put into the main game, we
Hmm.
can understand that this is going to be like a quality addition, or even and even they've said that they're not going to make like unless they go back on their word, but they said that they're not going to do like a cosmetic item bundle or like shit like that everyone hates from companies where they're like, it's like even like like doing a skin or something. It's like, well, you don't have to buy it; it doesn't do anything. But then they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but also we can just put this content in the game. So
What they done with Divinity is they included that stuff in the DLC. Like, so I guess for Divinity 2, what they did was they basically like added stuff in as the story went on. So like at the very start, I remember one of the DLCs was like you fucking meet this little squirrel, like on like this squirrel that's like riding a rat or some shit, and you pick him up right at the start, and he has a story of some sort. But even if he dies, you can use like see undead or whatever to see him, and he just follows you like the whole game. Not that's not doing anything, but like a whole bunch of other stuff like that. They basically changed up the early game. It gets kind of like
yeah,
what they did between the early access and the actual release, because like the start of the game is not the same, exactly the same
yeah,
than it was in the early access than it was in the full release. So I think they'll either do stuff like that where they'll tweak it, or they'll be like, hey, we're gonna, because I think they added, I don't know if they added a new yeah, they added a new class. I think I know I can't really do that in D&D as easy. I know there's
yeah,
like supplementary stuff. Maybe they could. I don't know. The
yeah. I
artificer
mean,
would
just
maybe wouldn't really fit, but
yeah. So the Artificer, the thing with that is that it comes from like a different world
yeah,
from
yeah,
the one that we
exactly.
get in this game.
Yeah.
They still could do it, but but yeah, they could have more subclasses and stuff like that. And again, maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe they will do DLC, but the people behind it definitely seem like if we add more to this game, we will add more to this game. We won't make you pay for more.
Hmm.
And I think that they'll stick with that, like with classes and stuff like that. I think if we get DLC, it will be like story.
Yeah. One
Like
sec. Oh,
it won't be you have to pay DLC to play this kind of character or something like that. I think it's going to be the way. So then, so some of the things I was looking at some of the like things that were said. So people were also comparing it to like Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring was like, as much as it's not my kind of game, it was a
mhm,
fantastic game. Like
sure.
like redefined like the genre of like of the Soul style of game and the open world areas.
Hmm.
To the point where people were saying the same sort of stuff that we're seeing here. Like, oh, don't let Elden Ring make you expect such good content from everyone else. And yeah, now like devs are saying that about this, and it's like, and one thing that I saw that was like super hype was I saw that the guy behind Larian
Hmm.
apparently Microsoft had come to him at some point and wanted to buy Larian Studios, and he said no.
Love that.
Like, didn't even say like how much like he it was probably a decent offer, and he said no, I don't want to stop making good games yet.
Yeah, because you know what? For
And
see
then
if he,
until the point where we no longer at Larian Studios care about making good quality content, then we'll sell out. Is what he said basically.
I appreciate, I respect that unbelievably.
And like so, but what he said there twofold is we're gonna keep making good games, and we're not gonna have a big studio dictate like that we need to start doing things for profit and being quicker at making games
Yep.
and things like that. And also he said if we ever do sell out, that's when you stop buying our games because that means that we've given up and we've like had our fun, but don't buy Larian games anymore. And that's like so. That's like such a Giga Chad move as well to be like to preemptively say if anyone buys this, then don't do it. Like if anyone buys out Larian, don't buy our next game.
I love that.
That's like Giga Chad, yeah. He's so cool. I think also like not to like make this like a political thing, but I think the fact that they're like a European game studio helps. Because I think
they're
like
not
like Japanese and American studios like often have like a massive thing about crunch, whereas I think European
Yeah.
studios don't as much.
It's
Like even
well,
like until more recently, like CD Projekt Red, they're also I believe a European studio. Um, they made The Witcher, which was a fantastic game. They made Cyberpunk, which they pushed out too early, which I don't know if that was enforced by the fact that there was a lot of like stuff riding on that for like the big studios.
mhm.
But I've also seen that people have been saying like, people have been sort of twisting this narrative of like, like I was saying, like they're saying like don't expect this from other games. Like some people have then adding like indie games and stuff, and it's like, well, no one expects indie games to be at that same level.
Yeah, this is a
Like when
not the
when a
biggest.
AAA game comes out, that should push the bar for AAA games, not for
Mhm.
indie games. Like
Yeah.
everyone understands that like one guy in his basement's not going to make Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
Like,
but some of the like you even say there's some like indie games that are just so much better. Like I'm just gonna use an example I can think off the top of my head in like Stardew Valley, right? That's
yeah,
that's an indie that well at least I don't know if it still is now, but it was an indie game at the time. And
yeah,
like
yeah. Definitely small studio if that's what they've developed into, but
it
not.
used to be one. I think the guy started on his own. Then he might have started a studio once he released it like
Yeah,
early on.
yeah, like it might be a studio now, is what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
like it definitely was just
but
a
like
thing. But
the
it's like,
the quality of that game to not only be a really good farming simulator, but also be like a really good if you're into that like romance and like slice of life and like
well,
all that kind of
there's
stuff.
so much, isn't there? Like there's like deep lore. There's like mines in there where you go and fight monsters and stuff, and like there's
Yeah,
a lot of stuff in there. Like, so it's more than just like an Animal Crossing esque game or a farming sim esque
yeah.
game. But yeah, also like I've seen like it's a lot of like devs talking about this sort of thing, and it's like you guys are like barely ever the problem devs. Like it's the big studios that are making you do this crunch stuff, and that's who we're like expecting better from.
Yeah.
No, we're not expecting these devs to be able to pull out Baldur's Gate in the time frames that like EA wants them to get them out in. We're wanting EA to be like, hey, you want to like let Baldur's Gate 3 happen for your studio because it's become, I think, due to its peak on Steam that it had so far, like on its release, it was the 8th most popular game on Steam ever. It's like, yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. So if you want your games to do that on the PC marketplace, then let the game have enough time to actually be made,
I'll say
and
like
also add bear sex.
yeah. Add patch notes like penis C and D no longer clip through some Githyanki clothing. Have patch notes like that.
That's a fantastic patch.
Then there's male gnome sorcerers are no longer missing their undies.
Unless they want to.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw out another example of a game that so like people loved Fallout 3, right? In terms of like an RPG game. Then
Yeah, like also like Skyrim as well. Like people
yeah.
were like loved Skyrim.
Yeah.
Um,
And the thing that I was thinking of is you think of like if there's gonna be one, a Fallout 5 or another Elder Scrolls game. If they don't
Yeah.
even like I know they're not exactly the same type of game, but they're an RPG to a degree. Well, they are RPGs, but they're not the same type of
Well,
RPG.
I mean, Elder Scrolls 6 is under a lot of like pressure because it has to be better than Skyrim, like just off the bat, which like it's a notoriously like enjoyable game. That but then also like Bethesda have like just gone downhill since.
Yeah. And
Like-
I like if you look at this
'Cause
game,
Fallout 4 was divisive. Fallout 76 was pretty
Shit.
much panned.
oh,
But yeah,
shit.
like I
not-
don't
they
know if
still
it's
release
I don't
shit.
I don't know if it's eventually become a little bit better, like No Man's Sky style, but
I've heard it's become better, but it hasn't become good. You know what I mean?
but yeah. So the last things of I've not is Starfield out or is it nearly out? I don't even know.
I
Like
don't
the
know.
like game. Um,
But look at how like Skyrim's had like 400 fucking re-releases, right? It's probably been 10 years now since Skyrim came out.
yeah,
And like if they haven't, like, you think like Baldur's Gate was what, like a 5 or 6 year process, maybe longer. If like they don't get the, if Elder Scrolls doesn't get to that, not even that, like that kind of standard, they've
yeah,
already lost. And I think that's why they're complaining, because there's probably people out there that they've probably committed to what, 8, 9 years of effort into this game and went, this is
yeah,
really good, and then shit like this comes out and they go, fuck.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah,
And I get, like, you say, oh, they're being defensive. I think they're just, some of them are just panicking because
yeah,
we've committed so
yeah,
much
yeah,
time into a game and it's not going to be as good as this, and they're shitting themselves, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
sad.
Honestly, like, and they're gonna want to charge the same amount.
Yeah,
That's what
or
people. That's
more.
what they'll be scared about. They'll be like, our game is predatory to people, and they've just put out a game that is the complete opposite, and we're about to try and charge more or the same amount.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm.
those people who are behind those games better be shitting themselves
Yeah,
because they're about to be like they're about to see that people are going to be much more like conservative with their money now.
yeah, and
I'm sure.
like I don't think there's been a franchise that I picked up Fallout at New Vegas. And New Vegas is probably one of my, like, it's actually the best Fallout of all of them. As I don't think that's
Right.
even a hot take. It's the best one. And then
No,
like,
a lot of people agree with that one.
yeah, and like, I don't think there's been a franchise that like an RPG franchise that I've picked up and enjoyed the sequel as much as the first game I've ever played. Like the first Elder Scrolls I played was Oblivion. I
Yeah,
still prefer Oblivion over Skyrim.
that's fair. I think that like a lot of people prefer like the first one they played of the thing,
Mm.
but obviously, like you're
But
saying, in
some
this
of them are just
situation,
worse.
you preferred. Yeah,
Like Fallout
yeah.
4, I played it. I played a lot of Fallout 4. It was just not as good as Fallout New Vegas. And then
No, well,
like,
like I say, it's divisive, isn't it? Some people like Fallout 4, some people
yeah,
don't
I
like
don't think it
the way
was.
that it's done.
I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was as good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and then like I played the first, not the first. Was it the first Dragon Age or the second one? I don't know. But when it came out, I was like, this shit is fire. It's, I guess, it's kind of similar play style to Baldur's Gate in a way, but like simpler. Um, and then Inquisition came out, which is the game after, and it's so shit. It's just
yeah.
so bad. They
I think
added
the only thing
like,
I know about Dragon Age Inquisition is that it has like sex scenes.
know what else they did? They added fucking
No,
real
I
world
just said that.
timers.
All right, real timers.
Yeah, so
Um,
you like send off like a scouting party, and it takes 12 hours for them to complete your mission. And I'm like,
excuse me, and it takes them 12 hours.
yeah, and I'm like, brother, I'm not playing a fucking mobile game. I'm playing a game
Oh my
all at the
god.
time on a console or like on my thing. And I was like, great. They come back and it's like, we've got 1 potion and 14 gold. I'm like, fuck off, fuck
Yeah.
off. I'm like, oh, actual bullshit. Like I'm even just like scrolling through. Like I was looking at my like library of games on Steam, and I'm like, oh god, there's so many just disappointing sequels.
Yeah.
When's Among Us
Yeah,
2
it's
coming out? That's all
crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yo, that's hype though.
But yeah, back to Baldur's Gate.
Um,
We took a massive fucking detour there,
yeah,
but
well, that's fine. We're talking about the sort of state of gaming, and and the Baldur's Gate's been on the forefront of that argument because it's such a full game, like we're saying, with like
mhm.
no microtransactions, no predatory elements to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's crazy.
I think the only thing they have is like there's like the deluxe edition or whatever, but it's like 850 and you get like some shit, don't you? But like that's not even, you don't have to buy
Mm.
it, and it doesn't make a
Yeah,
difference.
I was trying to look up the deluxe bundle, but
You own
yeah,
it, I assume, so you can't look it up.
no, it's because currently I don't have my
I have it open, one sec. Deluxe bundle.
I can't currently open the game because I don't have my hard drive plugged in.
Okay. Yeah, the deluxe bundle gives you, I think, like an in-game cosmetic cape or some shit. Sorry, it's an in-game item from Divinity called the Mask of the Shapeshifter. That was actually a pain in the ass to get in Divinity 2.
Yeah,
But
so I actually yeah, so this stuff is that like you can say, oh, they've got the deluxe edition, that's predatory. The deluxe edition is a way to buy the things that you got if you bought it in alpha.
Yeah.
So they gave you like a free gift essentially like of for buying. Like they gave you a free gift for like being an early adopter, which is like a couple of cosmetic items that don't really do anything, and it's like, oh, that's just cool to have. And then like the art books and digital character sheets and stuff, because it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
like
if you're a
soundtrack,
day one
art
investor,
book,
you'll be interested in
whatever.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Um.
not. It's only £8.50, and it does
Well,
about
actually,
nothing.
maybe I still have to find them, but I've not got that cape, the loot, or the
They're in your.
or something yet.
I'm fairly sure they're in. They give you like dice and shit. It's not in your chest in your fucking camp. Anyway, yeah,
No, I'll try and find out. Maybe you only get some of the stuff for being an early adopter.
maybe,
Maybe
or
the
I
rest of
yunked
it
it
is
on you.
just maybe you get it by saving the Gith woman.
Mm, but yeah,
But yeah, so like it's like that stuff is just like a little like, hey, if you like this stuff, here's some other outside of the game stuff and a little bit of in-game stuff. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, I think it's all digital deluxe edition content is included free when purchasing Baldur's Gate 3 during the early access period. So yeah, so it's just a way of paying for the stuff that is the thank you to early adapters. So
yeah,
like if you're an early adopter, you get this little bonus for them being like, thanks for being an early adopter and seeing us through and helping us make the game.
yeah. It also says a
And
lot
then
that
if you and they didn't want to make that so it was fully like locked behind like a thing that people can no longer do, so they said, here's a little spend a little bit of money to buy the soundtrack and stuff.
yeah, it also says a lot that 97% of the reviews on the DLC are positive.
Yeah.
There's 60 negatives. Glad I got it for free, says the guy who literally got it for free.
I mean,
But give it a
that's
negative
fair.
thing.
If I wasn't in the early access, I probably wouldn't buy that DLC. To be honest, like, because I'm not one for watching the books and everything. But sorry, seeing the art books and things like that. It's not something that I
Yeah,
normally do.
all
But
the all the people that are complaining are literally complaining because they can't find the items, or they're like, I wouldn't pay for this, but I was an early adopter, so I got it anyway. Like, what the fuck are you reviewing negatively for then?
yeah, it's something you got for like I guess the idea is this isn't worth the money, don't buy it. Which is kind of fair, but
then the people that did buy it were like, 100%, I don't care.
yeah, all the people who bought it are like, I wanted to give the devs more money.
Yeah,
Which
literally.
is fucking insane, isn't it? Like in like a day and age where we're like having like the fight against devs of like they're so predatory and everything, and where then there's so many people who are like, Larry did such a good job, I want to give him a tip.
Yeah.
Like literally like after the masterpiece that's Baldur's Gate 3, how could I not pick up this dice skin? How could I not give them more money? Like,
yeah,
how like not even just like why are the devs even like scared? Like look at how people respond, and all you have to do is like not be predatory for one game.
yeah.
You just have to have one game where you let it have like the life cycle it needs to have to actually be innovative.
Yeah. It's just silly to me is all. I know they couldn't have done this. This is unrelated to everything we're talking about, but I maybe there is some and I just didn't see them. But I'd love, like, I wished one of the companions was a companion from like Divinity somehow, even though those worlds don't cross over at all. It'd be fun.
I think the only reason they haven't done that is maybe they will as a DLC, who knows? But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the only reason they haven't done that is because it's like an official like this is like
Oh yeah, yeah.
with Wizards of the Coast.
They also can't do it because like at the end of Divinity 2, the whole thing is that you become like the fucking holy god or some shit. So I don't think they could.
But not everyone in Divinity 2 becomes the holy god. They could
Yeah,
they could bring like an NPC character from Divinity 2.
The thing is, like, everyone else is like, it's kind of similar to the thing with this game where you're infected. Basically, all these people are like chosen warriors of their respected god or whatever, and they like, I can't really remember it completely, but that was the moral of the story. And the end is basically just like a fucking free for all to who becomes like divine or whatever.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Divinity 2 Original Sin. It came out in 2014. You have literally zero excuses. Nearly 10 years old. I guess that says a lot. That was the last game I think they made before Baldur's Gate, and they did add on to it for. I think they spent 4 years extra adding more content into the game, and adding new characters, adding new situations, so that if you wanted to play it again, it would be different. I love that. Like, if they do it with this, I'm excited to finish my save, maybe wait a few months or whatever, however long it takes, load up another one and go fucking straight back into it and see all the differences.
Yeah,
What a fucking game.
it is fantastic. Yeah, like, and like it just shows that like you don't like because like all these game studios like their way of doing it is like pumping out multiple games a year.
Yeah.
And then taking the revenue from that, even though it's not as high as it could be.
Buy a
And,
dying
like, just dealing
franchise
with
and
it.
releasing a
Yeah.
shitty reboot. Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of the things people have been talking about as well is like this has come out at the same time as like the Left 4 Dead stuff. So
I didn't even
sorry,
know that
not
was
Left 4 Dead. The Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption has been released on PlayStation 4 and Switch.
Oh, as in like on Red Dead 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, number one.
What?
Yeah, Red Dead 1 has been released on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and Switch.
Cool.
And it's $50.
What?
They're charging people the same amount for the game that is like 10 years old.
It's actually technically worth more.
It's the people who are then it's the same price as the people who made Baldur's Gate. They think that game being resold that can play on your PS4 is worth the same amount of money as Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even like a remaster. It's not anything. They just ported it. So like they didn't make any game, and now they're charging $50 for it.
But it's probably HD Megamax.
No, it's not. It's literally not. There's literally no remastering at all in the game. There's no HD remastering in any capacity. There's no higher. They've not made it 60 FPS. They've not done anything.
Fucking hell.
Charging full price. So yeah, so Baldur's Gate 3, fantastic, but also opens up to making you think about every other game that you'll ever look at purchasing. Because I don't think that Red Dead Redemption is going to do fantastic.
No. I'm hoping that I know it won't, because like as you said, it being a European company probably makes it better because it's not American company, so it's not like we gotta make the shareholders happy, pump out a fucking game and get the share price down. But then realistically, it just goes up even, but it actually just goes down because like who wants to see fucking Sonic Ultimate Hero Refriends to the 14th time or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds kind of hype, actually. No, actually, I think Sega's actually in quite a good place. Like, I don't think
because no one expects anything of them.
Yeah, I think Sega's actually in a place where they can take more risk. Like we were talking recently about the Sonic game that they made in like February or March or something, which was the Sonic Murder Mystery. Like,
was that official? Was that actually real?
Yeah, it's by Sega. Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's an official Sega product. And yeah, it's what's it called? Where it's a visual novel. It's a visual novel murder mystery about Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, when would you have expected? Like, if they were run by like Microsoft, we would never get that.
No,
they would just
you would get a mobile game.
They would keep pumping out 3D Sonic games. Well, to be fair, there is a Sonic mobile game. But like Sonic Team spends ages, and there was a time where they were making like bad games, like during like the Wii era and stuff. They were making like a bunch of stuff that wasn't very good and wasn't polished and stuff. But recently, like they've made Sonic Frontiers, which I've not heard much about. To be honest, it kind of went under people's radar a bit. But there was Sonic Origins. There's the new Sonic game that's coming out. Oh no, is Sonic Origins the new one?
I don't know. The new
Sonic Origins is the one where it's just the old games. There was Sonic Mania. Sorry, Sonic Mania was the one where it really turned around for him.
Yeah, I remember seeing an Alpharad video about a Sonic game, and I was like, that doesn't look horrible. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even Sonic Forces was alright. Like the one where you make your own like OC.
Yeah, I've seen someone play that. I say someone, it was Boog, the guy Boog Nights. Yeah. He used to have a thing on his channel where if you had like 10k channel points, he would make you a Sonic OC in that game.
That's so funny.
I know, fuck it, because he was like, I don't know what any of these look like, but I'm just gonna channel your energy into a Sonic OC. And I'm like, okay.
But yeah, I think the devs like behind Sonic Team are like they like know what they're doing now. Like they've got it a bit.
Yeah,
Like
I
not everything's a banger. Like they did a Sonic racing game that was like, because they did two Sonic racing games, which was Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, which were like, and then the sequel to that one, which was Transformed, which were like pretty good. Um, but then they made like a new one, but like they tried to make like they tried to make like team racing, which was like interesting. Like you had to like work as a team and race and stuff, but the mechanics weren't really there.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but people have had like, there's like Sonic Colors people really like.
Yeah, I don't know. Gaming's in a really weird space for me where I find it really hard to enjoy any AAA title. Like Baldur's Gate's the first one in a long fucking time. I physically like being like, I
Yeah,
need to play more of this. Like
yeah.
as you know,
Honestly, apart from like games like Super Autopets and Vampire Survivors, that are just like these small little sort of addicting little
yeah, Peglin.
keep playing roguelikes, which like have that like repetitive element to them.
Yeah,
But also, you know, they're not predatory. They're quite cheap, and you know, like obviously SAP has some DLCs, but like
you don't need them.
that's the only one, and yeah.
And it's not like it's fucking expensive. Like it's not like it's an
No,
expensive
exactly.
game.
They're super cheap DLCs. Like you're still gonna nowhere. If you buy all the DLCs and buy SAP, you're still nowhere near a AAA title.
Yeah, like it says a lot. Like, um, I'm not a massive JRPG fan. But there was a new One Piece game came out. I say new. It was the early, like the start of the year, and
Right.
I was like, you know what? I like One Piece. I like RPGs. I'll fucking give it a go. Fuck it, was shit. It was so clunky. It
Yeah.
just felt bad. Like it wasn't fun to play. I put 4.5 hours into it, and then went, I really don't want to play this. Like I just like I can't play
Yeah.
this. I spent like 60 quid or something on it, and I'm like, this is just bad. I'm like, I'll load up fucking Wild Frost that I paid like fuck all for and play that for the 100+ hours that I've played it for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I
This
know
this is like the first like AAA game, I guess, like that I've like really wanted to sit down and play for a while.
one like another game that you know I'm a big fan of is Foot Manager, and it has
Mhm.
some of that problems where it has to come out every year.
Yeah.
But what they've done is it's kind of cringe, but I get why they had to do it. So they're partnered with Microsoft now because they
Right.
give it for free on Xbox because they made a version
Okay.
for
Yeah.
Xbox, and it's like if you pay for all the fucking mega shit to get all those games on whatever Game Pass it is, you get
Yeah.
Foot Manager for free. But one of the stipulations, like I read an article about it, and it was one of the stipulations was that you have to be able to transfer your save over to the next game, which you were never able to do. But that's what
Yeah.
they've been able to do. So what they did is they released Foot Manager 2023 with barely any updates in it, and went, we just have to do this. And they're like, we have to basically, they literally released the thing being like, hey, you can buy it if you want, but like it's pretty much the same game, but with updated players. We're basically just like taking a skip this year, and we're just gonna spend the whole year working on this like next thing.
Yeah, that's so cringe. Like
It's cringe, but
that
it's
Microsoft have made them do that. Like that's the
yeah,
thing. Like the Microsoft thing of like buying Game Pass and then like it's really like consumer friendly, except it's really negative on devs because now Microsoft has a reason to make all their studios push out as many games as possible, so their service has as many games on it.
yeah.
But then that means that we get worse quality games, so then it's worse for the consumer in the end. So it's like a really tricky like balance. And I
Yeah,
mean, you've got all sorts of stuff like Overwatch 2. Like the devs recently announced that they're not having the level of single player and like RPG elements that they were going to add into the game. They just said, "No, we're not doing that anymore." So all the people who bought the game waiting for that one day, that's not
yeah.
happening anymore.
I'm still waiting for single player
Um,
Fortnite to come back. That shit was fire.
and there was Diablo 4 recently came out. And
Whoa.
in Diablo 4, there was a button to buy the like battle pass because it has a battle pass because obviously it does.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing that Diablo was missing was a battle pass.
Mhm.
It's right next to where the map is, and it's like a one button press, and then you bought it. No refunds.
No. No, no, no,
Literally,
no,
yeah.
no.
As long as you've got your card details on Blizzard's like network, it instant one click buys it.
I will say EA are horrible for microtransactions. Blizzard are actually probably one of the worst.
Blizzard are the worst. I will say it. Like
I play Blizzard game. I play World of Warcraft, and like Like this is a bad example, but I'll open up Battle.net right now. The first thing I see is Modern Warfare, blah blah blah. But if I go into World of Warcraft Classic, right, which is the game I play,
coins, like
that's one. I'll talk about it. But the first thing is, to be fair, it's for charity. But how much of that actually goes to the charity is questionable. It's like donate. I think it's like $20 or something. Yeah, £18 to support Ukraine. 100% of the purchase goes to Pet Pack.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, fair
I
enough.
could believe that they do 100% of like that sort of stuff because they're doing so much saving face at the moment.
Yeah, is that Mila Kunis? Yeah, that is Mila Kunis. I didn't even realize.
As a night elf mohawk.
But one of the things with like if you assume like World of Warcraft Classic is basically just a port of the old game from literally like fucking early or mid 2000s.
Yes, yeah. I find WoW Classic hilarious because they keep slowly bringing out the updates for it. So eventually they're gonna need to make WoW Classic 2. Because WoW Classic is going to have gone so far that everyone's like, this is too far. I like the earlier versions of the game again.
They already have that, so it's like there's classic era servers, which leaves it back in the very first one.
That's so funny. They've already done it. They've already
it was whenever
too far to the future for some people.
No, whenever they moved to the first expansion, they went, hey, this is another cringe thing that Blizzard did. We're gonna let you keep your characters on these old servers if you want to keep doing the old stuff. But if you want to have a character on the new server and the old server, you're going to have to pay for that.
That's strange. I thought they were going to say that we can't do that.
No. Like, they can do it.
No, you can do it, but we're going to make you pay for it, even though it's something that we could do 100% for free.
How much do you think it was?
Oh, I can't even imagine. Too much.
It was 28 quid, I think.
Jesus Christ. I didn't that much.
So people were fucking raging about it, obviously.
28 quid to let your character live.
Mm-hmm. And then they were like, okay, you've got like a month. If you don't do this, your character will get automatically transferred.
That's cringe.
I think it was longer than a month, but it was like, basically they were like, until it comes out, you've got this amount of time. Tough shit. It is what it is. Pick. Yeah. So people weren't happy, and then so the whole thing with WoW Classic is they were like, no changes, but they've made changes to make like some quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things that wasn't a quality of life thing that they just snuck in was a thing called the WoW token, which exists in normal WoW, where you can buy it with real money and then sell it on the auction house to get gold in game. But you can also buy them in the auction house to get membership. So you can spend hours of your life literally to get like 14 days of membership, or you can buy it to get money and blah blah blah. So it started at 20k, and now it's sitting at like 7k gold. So now they're barely even worth buying.
God. Yeah,
it's so fucking mental.
That's so strange.
And they have these things like I'm looking at it right now. If you renew for 6 months, you get. To be fair, the pet kind of cool. I kind of want it, but it's like a little fish in a bubble.
All right.
If you pay 6 months up front for your subscription, here you go. Have that.
Yeah.
How shit is that?
Yeah, that's.
And like, it's like it's like I think it's like $8.99 a month for a membership. So they're like, hey, pay nearly the price of a whole fucking game for a fish, and I get you still get to play the game. But like, it's the fact that they have microtransactions on top of a subscription model. Yeah, on top of if you play the normal version of the game, on top of that, if a new expansion comes out, you also pay for the new expansion, or you're stuck doing, like, you know what I mean?
But one thing I find like the Diablo 4 thing disgusting is that in fact, let me have a look.
They might have changed that if it was that like that crazy, because I know on WoW it opens up your Battle.net account and then goes like, "Are you sure?"
So sorry, my problem with Diablo, like it might have like changed it now, but the game is let me go onto it because it did an automatic transition thing. So the standard game is £60.
I heard it's good, but
it's £60 for a game where it has an in-game microtransaction currency.
Yeah.
Why are you paying £60 for not getting everything in the game?
Yeah. Yep.
Why is like Diablo is not worth £10 more than Baldur's Gate 3 anyway?
No.
Let alone the fact that, and this is the standard edition. If
It
you
also
want,
didn't. It also didn't
you
come
can spend $90 to get the
cosmetic.
Temptation mount and the
Yeah,
Hellborn
that
Carapace
happens.
mount armor. Yeah, so what? So I want to spend half the money that the game costs on getting a few cosmetics extra.
Yeah, I definitely have never done that on World of Warcraft ever.
And and then and you get the battle pass as well. Okay, so that's maybe where the money comes in there because it has a battle pass, it has in-game currency, and it's $60. Pick one.
Yeah, and on top of that,
I'll pick two.
the game wasn't.
Fortnite's free. Fortnite's free, but has those other two. Make a game, make a game a ridiculous amount of money, and don't have all that shit in there.
Well, they did. It's called Diablo's Immortal. Have you heard of Diablo's Immortal?
What, you guys don't have phones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst received games of all time. But you should look up the amount of money that the top players spend on that game. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
I honestly, those people are ruining the gaming industry.
Yeah, I
Those
would
people
say
who spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on
tens of thousands of pounds. Lanigal.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I said thousands, but
yeah, I'm saying tens of thousands of thousands of thousands of pounds.
yeah.
Yeah, like
But yeah,
obviously
it's
he
crazy.
shall not be
Like,
named from
but-
OTK was I'm pretty sure spent like 50k on that game.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like all these people just spend so much money on these games that are like already taking so much money and stuff, and it's like, well, now all of these companies are gonna know that this content still works. Stop buying it. Like,
It's never that easy, unfortunately. So I guess if they enjoy it, let them enjoy it. But like, it's sad that they need to like spend that money to enjoy the game. It's just sad to me. Whereas like I literally loaded up Baldur's Gate and I'm like 40 hours in, I'm in Act 2 and I'm definitely nowhere fucking near done it. And I know there's so much more and there's so much more replayability to it. I could play it again, different characters, different classes, different everything, do things differently, persuade people, fight everybody. I think probably persuade people more would be my ideal way, but that tends not to happen whenever I fucking do something because I try to talk my way out of it and then they're like, no.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, sorry. Sorry.
But yeah, how long have we been going? I feel like we've gone
an hour and a half.
Yeah,
but then minus the technical thing. Yeah. That's all I was gonna say. We could literally just end.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so, but yeah, like the gaming industry is honestly, I think that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be good. I think that everyone's like reacting now, and then we're going to have a bunch of games that sell poorly, and then they're going to go, well, let's have a look at what sold well. Baldur's Gate 3 sold well. It's because it had some time in the oven. And hopefully that'll mean that we get some games that get some time in the oven.
Yep, like FIFA 25.
Yeah, we don't. Well, I hope we don't get a FIFA for 2025. And
we actually aren't.
FIFA,
I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They're changing the name of the game, and I think they're just doing it like with all patch notes.
Oh
now.
because I think they're like they lose the sponsorship or something, so it's like no longer a FIFA game. Whatever.
Some shit like that, and then they're just calling it like fucking like Pro Football League or some shit, and then they're just gonna release patch notes basically instead of like releasing a new game, and then they're making it free to play also, so it's all gonna be on microtransactions. So that's yippee.
Well, at least like we said, they're going for not doing all of them. Like it's no longer because that also was a full price game where you had microtransactions in it. It's like
same with Madden and same with I was gonna say I was looking at my list of games and I'm like I don't have that many. I was about to say Puzzle Pirates.
Just any of the ones made by EA is pretty much it.
Well, EA Sports in the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's in your credit card. But yeah, the gaming industry is shit except for Baldur's Gate 3, which is absolutely pog. I think that's a good summary of gaming at the moment.
And Lil Tay isn't dead.
Awesome. Yeah, Lil Tay alive and kicking, and also just see Most Critical put out a video, so we're not going to be the first to cover the topic, unfortunately.
But we never were. I don't think we ever were.
No, that was never going to happen. I mean, especially when we already have a release date for this podcast, and it's like next week. So.
Yeah, she'll have died again by the time we fucking release this.
Oh god, I hope we're not out of date.
Well, you said that news is coming in as we speak. She'll be alive, but her brother will be dead. But it's actually he's been playing too much Baldur's Gate. He thinks he's a necromancer.
Yeah, but he's been hacked and yeah.
Yeah. And then I show up, AI me shows up, and then that's it. That's the end.
Yeah, that's it. And then the end credits of Baldur's Gate run.
Okay, so we're gonna insert a goodbye and the podcast message from Notice the Z that he's gonna pre-record, and we're gonna put it in here. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, wasn't that a great episode of the podcast that all of us were on? Like, man, let us know what your favorite Baldur Gate is. Mine is the fourth one with the warrior and the D&D elements. Okay, bye. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.